do Main Street Tech Talk in the morning. There's a lot of stuff happening, getting updates, talking to people. We did show you a little bit of the guys. They were not at the hall like they were supposed to be, but they were at the hotel. They had just got back from the floor of CES. But guess what? We got a ton of video to show you of CES. Maybe it's important for me to introduce myself. My name is Ho. H to the O. No, wrong platform. Wrong platform. This is your guy, Main Street Tech Talk. Hello, my brother Tommy. We're out here. We're back again. It is Friday. It is noon. This is what we do. Again, you missed me yesterday. I apologize, but I was out doing 1,000 different things because we had to get some stuff to talk about today. And me learning some stuff. Some stuff has been happening in the tech world. It's a little crazy. Little crazy, man. I mean, a lot of layoffs, and it's not good news. I mean, you got people saying they hired too many too fast. Um, Actually, that comes from Discord. So they're laying people off. Amazon is laying people off. I want to say Microsoft is laying people off too. Everybody's getting laid off, man. It is a lot happening right now. So getting all that information and getting it organized for you guys. But today we're talking about the latest in tech, and I am excited because out of the I think right now I'm looking at 200 and some odd emails I have to return after looking at 150 the other day from the floor of CES. So, CES, for those who don't know, it's a consumer electronics show held every year in Las Vegas, Nevada, where you get to figure out and do whatever you want to. I guess they say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I think some of the tech must need to stay in Vegas too, bro. Can you see me? Did you freeze up, Tommy? Oh yeah, he froze. But while we get Tommy back, let's play some of the video from there he goes from CES. Some of the things that is happening out there. A lot of this comes from the artificial intelligence area of CES of the showroom floor. What's up with this thing? There we go. A lot of people are, you know, as the guys talked about, it was all AI. But Tommy, we were talking earlier. I mean, how do you feel about CES?
I don't know. CES used to be like um, leading edge, but nowadays a lot of stuff that comes out on CES never makes it to market. And like, I don't know. Like, I haven't been thrilled in it. I haven't really. I haven't let you got on the screen. You got the dog that they've shown for the last decade. Like, I don't know. I let's see what this year brings because I really didn't watch it this year. I follow the blogs, but I really haven't watched. I see more stuff in some of these YouTube podcasts.
Yeah,
Did I
yeah.
lose you?
No, man. I'm looking at some of the video
Yeah, if you look at
from
the video,
CES.
a lot of this stuff has been around already.
Yeah, man, and it was so crazy because I got an email from a one of the I don't that's not presenters or
Uh-huh.
vendors, not vendors. One of the people who had space at CES, and we're talking about some of the failed electronics over the decade. Like a lot of stuff people don't realize. A big hoopla was made about it, and it just really just failed because it didn't resonate with the consumer. So
Yeah, it's
it's
like some
crazy,
of this
man.
new tech is nonsense. It's like it's not something that people need in their lives, right? And tech, technology and advancement should be something people are needing, something people are craving for, a need that's missing, a want that people have. And a lot of this stuff is just, tech boy dreams.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I'm waiting to see something innovative, right, that will make my life better. Well, this is what I'm
Yeah,
waiting for.
I,
Like,
I think like we were talking about before, man. You were saying like, AI is the biggest thing at CES, and I think again, I am. It's interesting what the how should I? It's interesting what the consumer attaches to because AI has been out for years,
yeah,
um, and you know, I guess I mean it was done in a way to make it a little easier for everybody, but I mean, it was out for years, so I don't. So for me, it's kind of like eh, like I'm not so excited about it to put it, put it out.
you got to think about it this way. Like, right, our advancements used to be our processor speed was constantly increasing and increasing. Right now, we're having IPs get better, we're having software get better, but our processor speed has not really increased. Look at our the current PCs, the current computers, right?
Hmm.
Your fastest processors haven't gotten any faster in the last couple of years,
Right.
right? I have an a Core i7 laptop, right? I've had this for 10 years. They don't have anything out there that's better right now.
I don't know.
That's
I'm gonna be honest with
scary.
you.
Is that
It's
not scary?
scary, but it's disheartening a little bit. It's kind of like it is. It's one big old PR thing,
But
and
there's
I'm not excited about it like I used to be.
there's a ceiling they have to get by, right? And the
Right.
ceiling is the processor speed, right? And they're not going to be able to do it using the same technology we're using. They're not going to be able to get faster. That's why the things that excite me most are the analog computing lane. That
Right.
stuff is really exciting me because it can boost our processor speed. It's the positives to this is it can do so much more and it can be so much faster. But the negatives is that it is not as precise. So that's the scary thing that we're dealing with right now. Like analog computing is not as precise as the digital, right?
Right. Hmm.
So the problem is getting analog computing to be more precise so it can do these finite calculations without these errors, right?
Right.
Because the problem is analog computing, because it's not so precise, it makes little small errors that could change the outcome.
So my thing is this, and listening to all this and understanding where we are today, because sometimes I see CES as a way to make the investors happy so they can gauge public interest on
It
things that have
is.
been made.
It is.
Um, but I'm sitting here and I think about, because I'm still thinking about quantum computing, how they're attaching, the computers to the brain, using parts of brains to see if they can process faster, different things that we're doing in order to advance, right? And it's kind of like, in some way, to the consumer, it feels brand new and it makes them feel like we're doing stuff. But for me, it's kind of like I feel like we're stuck in a way.
I mean, we are stuck, but we need the consumers not to think we're stuck, right?
Right.
Because without that infusion of cash, without that money, they can't do the
The
research.
investments.
They
Right.
can't.
Right.
So these both things have to happen at simultaneously, which is why I'm disappointed with CES because um, we need that they need to we're not getting faster right now. They need to concentrate on things that people need and want. Right. The only thing about it that I like was the gaming stuff because I know me as a gamer, anything you can get me right that will
Yeah.
make my gaming better. I'm good with that. Give me some better software. Give me things that using the processor speed we have to make my thing because you can make stuff move faster by compressions and things like that. That's fine. Give me some great software that fixes the compression rates. Right? Give me things like that. Like the transparent LED screen, right?
Yeah, that
Like,
wasn't like
what's the
I wasn't
point?
even excited about that either. I was like,
I don't
oh,
know what
okay.
the point of that is. To look cool in some rich kid's room?
Yes, I guess. I guess. I mean, phones should have changed by now. Like, if you made that into a phone, which we've seen in sci-fi movies where they have the phones that are transparent,
I
right?
don't even like that.
I mean, I think it would be dope if I had it in my hand. But
It
what I'm
would be
saying is,
it
it's not
it.
really,
I
it's
don't
not
know.
practical. It's like
It's
for me,
not.
it's like the auto show. To be honest, they
If
make all this
someone gave
all
me,
this stuff, and it's not production. It's not going to production. It's just to show what
yeah,
could happen. I hate that.
yeah,
Show
and
me something I
that's
can
what
get my hands on.
there are some things that came out in CES that I would have loved to get my hands on, and and it never happens, right? Like, so now when I see these shows, I'm like, okay, it is just to bring people in and get people excited and get some money back into research, and that's what
Yep,
it's for,
that's it.
right?
That's
I
a
mean,
lot of
that's what
money
it's for.
being spent.
And mind you, there be cool stuff on it. Like, I don't know, like maybe like I'm watching these videos and so far, and all of the stuff you're showing me, I didn't see anything really cool. Like, is there anything you saw that was like super cool during this that stood
Um,
out to you?
so let's I'm gonna be honest. No. And then even in talking with the guys, it was more or less like, um, they were talking all AI because, it is because, and I'm sorry you see in the back my camera switching. It is because of some of the history with AI that I don't feel too excited about it. But to be frankly honest, man, it's kind of like I get it, but I, I'm
Like,
I'm past that, right? I'm past the dog and pony show.
and we
I
already
should say
know
that.
that.
Maybe that's the easiest way to say it. I'm past the dog and pony show. I want to see more or less real tech being used and utilized. And that's kind of how I feel about it. I think going to CES as media is probably the best way because there's so many different things you can get your hands on and so on and so forth. But in all reality, it's kind of like, okay,
You know what I want? You know what I want? I want a flying car that fucking works. I'm sorry, I cursed. I want a flying car that works. Give me a flying car that I can go to the store and I can buy, and I will be impressed. Because in order to do it, you need really good AI to
right.
control the stabilizers. You need really good battery backups, right? Right? Because if you're in the sky and you run out of gas or run out of juice, like you need to have a backup that'll lower you down nice and gently.
Or a parachute.
AI needs to know when you're getting close to that point to lower you down gently so you don't crash,
Hey,
right?
we get a parachute. It's I forgot the name of that plane. I'll tell you. I want to say it's the Cirrus. And if anything happens to the engine, a parachute automatically deploys at the top of the plane, and you
That
come
should be
down.
the last resort,
Yo,
right?
man, I
Like
don't trust none of that stuff.
there should be a complex AI system that knows when the plane is getting close or when the flying car is getting close to going down, right? We have the
Should
tech is there to do that, right? It's
maybe,
there right now.
but I mean, there's some more. I would say there's some more VTOLs coming out, or eVTOLs and VTOLs. Let me say both. And I mean, I don't want to seem like I'm talking shop. So it's electronic vertical takeoff
I
and
heard, I know what you mean, but
no,
tell
no.
them what,
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
because
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
yeah,
saying. That's what I'm trying to explain to the
using them
audience.
big tech
So
words.
yeah, well, it's like electric vertical takeoff and landing. Then you got your vertical takeoff and landing. So you have those vehicles out for Jesus. I'm moving camera moving around so much. You have those vehicles out for they're testing those right now. I can't remember somewhere in Florida. I want to say Orlando. They have permission to start trying it, but we'll see. I don't. I see that technology still probably. 5 to 10 years away from being really practical for
the,
everybody. I don't
the
see it
biggest
happening in the
reason
next few years.
the biggest reason they can't roll it out, right, is they cannot confirm that it's safer than driving a car. And
Okay,
driving a car is not safe,
at
right?
all.
There is nothing safe about driving a car. But if you cannot make a flying car safer than driving a car, which is not safe, then
Right.
come on. Like I don't know.
It's that's what I'm saying. They have some time. All right, so CES is wrapping up. Today is the last day for CES, ladies and gentlemen.
It's the
So
last day. Maybe there's something gonna be good today. Like I don't know. Like the last day, you think?
remember, they still, especially when it comes to automakers, they still got the North American Auto Show in Detroit. They got
I'll
a
say they holding something in their pocket.
Yeah, man, and that's the best auto show you'll see because all the brand new stuff that comes out at that one. All right, so our next story happened this week, and man, let me tell you, I know it was a fight between Microsoft and Apple, but for a split second, Microsoft became more valuable than Apple this week. Just for a split second, it's a lot of money at play
So for a moment, the
for a
world
moment.
got sense.
Hey, Apple is amazing with marketing. I mean, it's the truth. A lot of people don't feel that way, but it's the truth.
Because
Amazing at marketing.
it's because of the marketing is so great is why they think the product is so amazing, right?
Yeah,
The
that's true.
marketing is phenomenal, right? I would never choose an Apple computer over a PC, right? Never ever in my life, because I know if I spend the same price on both, my
Yeah,
PC is gonna be better, right?
right,
Right. Yeah, but
right,
when people compare Apple and PC, or Apple and Android as well, they compare the Apple phone, which is always expensive as hell, to one of the cheapest Android phones. They
right.
compare the most expensive to the cheapest. If you compare the most expensive to the most expensive, Android always wins. So
Yeah,
if you
that's
look
true.
at all those shows that do the top thing on the phones and all of this, Samsung is uh always
Apple.
above Apple. Always. There is not one time when someone's gonna rate, unless they're rating the look, right? If they
Right.
rate the appearance, Apple may win, but lately it's not winning that either because it ain't changed, right? There's nothing cool in
People
it.
have people have their like the things that they like so much about this stuff because they've had it for a long, long time. Especially when it comes to the Apple phones, you can barely break people from an Apple phone
No,
if
they
they've
be
had multiple
phones.
Apple phones that have little to no like upgrades every year. And
No,
this last one, it was so funny because somebody did a video and they showed the upgrade from 14, I want to say from 14 to 15. And it was just it literally they did it I want to say Adobe and Photoshop.
they changed the charging port. That's all they
That's
did.
it. And made the camera bigger. And I was like, oh my gosh. It is
So
what it is,
basically they
man.
started using Android's charging port.
Yep. Yep. Well,
Oh,
let huh?
and they're changing the text messaging system too.
Yes. And I did a story about one of the companies who actually came up with a way of doing it and making it easier, and Apple blocked them. So it's crazy. It's crazy, man.
Apple uses such an old technology on their text messaging system. Right? It's like it's crazy. It's crazy what they get away with.
Well, they're the most valuable company that's out right now. So we'll see. Now, speaking of tech companies, Google, aka Alphabet, laid off hundreds of employees who worked on Google Assistant, Pixel, Fitbit, and Nest products,
They made
citing investment in the company's biggest priorities. I mean, that's tough, man. It's kind of like we got a whole bunch of people hit in the tech sector, going into closing out last year and coming out of that, starting a new year. Excuse me. Starting a new year, we were getting more and more layoffs. We were talking about Discord, and Discord said they hired too many people too fast. There was too many. so they're laying off people as well. So we have a lot of layoffs that's happening across the board in the tech sector, and it's kind of interesting. It may not seem a big deal to most people, but we got a lot of tech people being laid off. That's what is happening to our economy because nothing getting cheaper. They're charging even more for a lot of these devices and the things that these departments that these people work stuff they worked on. Those prices aren't going down. So what's going on? Hello? Did I lose you? Look, you've been dropping in and out. I had a great little conversation. I'm looking at certain stories and stuff like that. So,
Yeah,
um,
like so. Yeah, so the last thing I heard you say was about Discord, about Google firing their
so
people.
yeah, it's a lot of stuff that's happening. They're saying investment into other things. Amazon is doing the same thing, where a lot of people in the tech sector are being laid off. But I'm like,
But you
is
know
that
why?
what? It's like a bigger. What's the bigger issue?
You know why?
Why? Tell me why. Tell the
You know
audience
why?
why.
Okay, it doesn't take that many technicians to do programming, right?
That's true.
It doesn't. Um, Especially when you have the AI assistant now, right? Like the AI is not developing the software, but it is helping, right? It is an
Tremendously.
assistance. And it is an unbelievable assistant, right? And the way our society had been leaning for decades is to move towards tech, to move towards office jobs, to move towards like all the things that now are obsolete, right? You
Hmm.
they co- Companies used to hire a whole bunch of people just to say they had employees, not because most of them weren't doing nothing but one task, right? They would
Hmm.
sit on one task all day and do that, and most of the day they ain't got nothing to do,
Right.
right? So yeah, they're scaling back because for tech companies like this, it's not necessary to have these super huge staffs, right?
Right.
And they're realizing that they have all of these research projects going on. They're nowhere and nonsense. So let's cut this down and put more money and more investment into something that's actually going to do something and change something, right?
Right. I
Uh,
mean, that's the same thing. Even with SpaceX, everybody's doing it. It's happening across the.
yeah,
It's happened across the board in the tech industry.
but we
Not,
knew this was going to happen.
yeah, I mean, it happens every year though. But it
But
just seemed like this year is more and more. Like it
yeah, and
becoming.
it's going to get more and more. It's going to get to the point where they hit a sweet spot, where they have enough to get everything done and still um, have enough money to put into other things,
Yeah.
right?
Well.
But the
Yeah.
problem is our population is huge, and we have trained way too many highly skilled technicians and programmers. We have too many, right? And how do you change that, right? What jobs do you give these people that are trained for something that we don't need? Like, not that we don't need, but we don't need so many,
Right.
right? Like I was doing those courses, I was doing all the I was like, let me pivot, right? Let me see if I can make some extra money over here on the side doing this or just. I realized that every single one of these courses that you're taking, that market is already flooded.
Flooded. Yeah.
It is. It is. I
Flooded.
had somebody tell me, right, that why don't you, you have all this expertise and all this knowledge, all this skill. Why don't you just, get there? All these tech companies are hiring all of these jobs for stay-at-home work, right?
Yeah.
No, they're not.
That's just for show.
They're full. They're
That's just for
full,
show.
right?
Yep.
Period. They're full. And but these companies that are getting you to take these courses, they know that.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like taking a degree that means nothing. when you go to college. Like they're not checking for that stuff. They don't care. They don't
We need
care. That's
to.
why you have kids who have certifications that are making more than kids with certifications who have never gone to college are making more than kids with degrees
Mhm.
who are in debt now from going to
Yep.
college.
We have to pivot. Our society has to pivot.
Oh yeah.
And this is a tech. This is a tech show, right? We're talking about street. We're talking about tech, right? But
Yep.
but what our society has to do has nothing to do with tech, right? We need to teach our kids how to do manual labor again, right? We need to teach the young generation trades, right?
Right.
Things that AI and computing and tech can't do, right?
But
Tech
we won't
tech
focus on
should
that.
be a small. It should be a small number of really smart people.
Right. Right. It should, but it's not. Everybody's there. You're selling. It's all about money. Everybody's selling a dream. You're selling a dream, baby.
Oh yeah,
I'm
but
selling you the dream.
but the world
Like
is
a pimp.
marketing.
People
People are
getting pimped out.
pliable. The world is marketing. People are pliable. You can sell a different dream,
That's
right?
true.
It just has to be done, and it has to start early in the kids' lives, right? So in my life, the goal was going to an office and not working hard, right? That's
Right.
what they taught us from really really young, right? So that's in our brain. So what they have to do now, this is going to take a couple of generations, but they need to start grooming these youngins that work is important.
Yeah. Well, they've all already see they can make it easier for themselves. Now, hold on. Let's fast. Let's move ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I go on tangents, man.
Yeah. No. 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 No.
My
I want.
brain,
I
my
want to. I
brain is
want to
full
talk
of a
about
whole lot of useless work.
there's a couple of things I want to talk about. I want to, part of this is news and part of it is us talking about what's happening in the tech world. But one of the things that just happened, SpaceX, T-Mobile, that whole situation, they just sent over the first text message over their little Starlink network. I
Mhm.
mean, multiple phone carriers have done this before with different tech companies. I don't know why this is such a big story. I think it's just because it's SpaceX and Elon Musk. But to be
Market,
honest, a lot of them,
market.
you look at Verizon, AT&T, they've done this already.
Mhm.
So it is what it is. I wanted to talk about um, something that I don't under. When I read it, I was like, I really need to go and research more as to why this is okay. Now, check this out. SAG-AFTRA announced a deal with Replica Studios to make AI voice clones for video games and other media projects, and SAG-AFTRA is okay with it. They're okay with it, and I don't. And I was reading, I'm like, why would you be okay with that?
So I haven't seen the actual deal, but this is where it's going, right? There's no way around that this is where it's going, right? So now, how do we make sure that these artists get credit for what this is? A deal has to be struck. Like anything you do, any movement, anything that's, I mean, because it's coming, right? So you can either choose to get ahead of it
Right.
or chase it, right? And making a deal now gives you more power to give more to the artist, so they can have residuals on products that are using their voice, right?
Right. But
They
but
can,
see, this is the thing. See, bro. See, this is the thing, right? And I read a little bit while you were talking. I propped it up. Some people are unhappy. I think I think this is the dumbest deal ever. The reason why I say that is because now you've insulated this company from ever paying anything. Why I don't need an
oh,
actor or
but
actress
did
now.
you? I mean, but what's the deal? Like you
The
can't say
deal
that.
with that, well,
The
they
deal.
they can't is so what they're saying is they can't use AI to copy our voices. Say
Uh huh.
we're part of SAG-AFTRA, right? They
Yes.
can't use AI to copy our voices to use in commercials or games or whatever,
Uh huh.
right? They can't do that.
Uh huh.
But because the way AI is set up, you can create a voice. You can create an AI generated person.
Hmm.
You don't need the actors and actresses anymore. So that's why I don't understand the idea
No, there
behind it.
no, but you can create an AI voice, but without a baseline, it doesn't really sound human,
But
right?
but
It
but
needs a base, it needs that voice, it needs that personality baseline, and that's all it's really taking, right? It's taking the tone and it's taking the personality baseline, their cadence. The individual people have an individual cadence when they speak, and that's really the property that they're taking.
but think about this, and let's be honest. How long do you think it's going to take for them to get to the point where they can replicate the cadence and replicate the tone?
That's why you put a deal in place now, so
But
you
it does. That's what I'm saying though. What I'm saying is this: the deal doesn't really matter because all they're saying is your voice, your voice. But if
it
I can
all
create
depends on
something,
how it all depends on how the deal is worded.
right?
Like
But what I'm
it
saying
is
is,
really
but
important to know that.
based upon on what I read, they're just saying you can't use Thomas Adams' voice to do through AI to do any other project. You can't use his tone, you can't use his cadence, and so on
Yeah,
and so forth. Right? Same thing with me.
yeah.
But what is stopping me from creating my own? Like taking the data from all these different people and creating my own voice, my own person.
Them going on strike and having to do another deal.
They can go on strike all they want to, but I don't need them. Like what I'm saying is, this deal
Oh,
has essentially
see,
made
that's
them.
there's a
You don't need them.
bigger power that SAG has over just these little over just doing the basic of that. They cannot recreate um a star, right? They cannot recreate. If they can do
Right.
no, if the SAG actors go on strike, then there's no movies being done, right? And then all of that trickles down everywhere. All SAG has to do is go on strike, and they completely stop our economy.
But it becomes illegal now because I'm not using anybody's voice. I'm not
They can,
using
but
anything.
they no, it's but they can strike and
But
form
they can
a different
strike all
deal.
they want to. But my
It
thing
will.
is this:
They
they
can
can
strike
strike.
and have a different deal.
SAG and AFTRA can strike. They can do whatever they want to, right? But what I'm saying is, there's no stopping this company from creating a voice rather than using someone else's.
I know.
But
I hear
then,
you.
so I'm saying, so that's what I'm
There's a
saying.
way they can ban that in the deal.
They
They
can't.
can, yes, they can,
Then
as
you're
long as
taking
they can
away. Then
shut
you're
down
going to
our
bring up a whole
economy.
bunch of free speech, capitalism, and so on and so
As
forth.
long as they can shut down our economy to say that you cannot use stuff like this in digital media, all right? They can do it.
But then that brings up a lawsuit. So
There's
it's
always going to be lawsuits,
yeah, of course. But what I'm
and
saying is,
SAG will
you
just
can't.
shut down the economy.
They can't stop it. All I'm
They can,
saying is, you
yo,
got your
if
point. I
SAG's
think it's a
yo,
bad deal.
I
You
don't think
can't
you're
stop.
realizing how much power SAG has.
SAG is about to go away.
You
I'm
really think
telling
so?
you, our SAG and AFTRA are about to go away, and I really believe so. And I'm telling you because there are
That
too
would
many
be
different.
that would be a shame. That would be
Let me tell
death
you.
to the industry. That would
What
be a killer to creativity. That would be the worst thing that could possibly happen.
No, well, what I'm saying is this, right? I'm not saying it won't be replaced by something else, but in its current state, it is not doing what it's chartered to do. And a great example of that is Terrence. Was it Terrence Adam?
Yeah,
Not
that
Terrence.
happened. That happened
But
decades ago, and he
but
was
I'm
a
saying,
nobody when that happened.
but what I'm saying is,
I can't
but
take
what I'm
that as an
saying is
example.
that's an example. There's
But it's
so many
not an
different things
example
that are
for
happening.
today.
There's so many, but they're not protecting the actors and actresses like they said they were chartered to do. So it's not happening the way that they're chartered.
Yeah, I don't. I disagree. I
So we'll
disagree.
see.
I disagree.
We'll see.
I
I'm
disagree.
telling you, it's going to be replaced by
I
just like the
disagree.
NCAA. NCAA is going to be soon replaced by something else because they're messing up too much.
That's like saying what happened 20 years ago means anything to what's happening today. as far as what we can accomplish,
But
right?
if it's still the
That's
same
like saying
thing,
that our processor speed is still where it was 20 years ago. Like we can't. That's a horrible comparison to make because SAG has changed so much over the years.
if it's still happening, there's a problem, right? I'm just saying, if you still have actresses and actresses who can barely make it, it's still a
Now we're
problem.
talking. Now we're talking about Taraji talking about all her crap after she
But
made
it's
10
more than just
million.
Taraji
After
though.
she made $10 million on a project,
It's
and now
more than Taraji though, right? I'm just being honest. All right, I'm just being honest. All right. So
so you work. So you, but yeah, but that's also a problem with a flooded industry, right?
yeah,
No, no.
but you got
The industry, the acting industry, is ridiculously flooded, right? So an actor can only work maybe once every 6 or 7 months because there aren't a whole lot of jobs
no.
because
That's
the
not
industry
true.
is flooded.
That's not true.
You don't think
That's
the
not
industry is
true.
flooded?
There are more jobs out there than not every once in 6 to 7 months. There, some of these shoots only take about 3 weeks.
And how much are you supposed to pay somebody for a 3 week shoot?
Well, I mean, it's based upon what they bring to the table. If they bring in, look, if you got an Oscar nominated, you won an Oscar, and so on and so forth, you should be commanding more. You should not be starting over, right?
So you
Because
think $10
would
million
you bring it
is
to the? Would
starting
you bring
over?
it to?
Wait,
But see, that's
I
the
know
thing.
this is the Taraji conversation.
No,
You
but
think
I'm
$10
just
million
saying I'm not.
is
I don't
starting
want to
over?
turn it to a Taraji conversation,
But
but
that's what it
there are
is.
more actors and actresses who are finding themselves in that position
That's because they
outside of
don't work
Taraji,
enough. That's because
huh?
they don't work enough. And when you hire them to work, they're not bringing any extra money into the. So when somebody hires you to be an actor, right, you're getting paid off of what you're going to bring, that draw you have, right? So
Right.
let's put Taraji right now. If Taraji would Taraji be in a movie make you want to go see it?
I say yes
Have you seen every movie she's been in?
because of her
No, no,
resume
no,
and
no, no.
what
Stop,
she's
stop,
known
stop. No,
for.
no, yeah,
Yes,
stop. That's the second question. Have you seen every movie she's been in?
I want to say I've seen 80% of the movies Taraji has been in.
So you've seen over 30 of her movies.
Yeah.
Can you name 3 of them?
Uh, yeah. Benjamin Button was one of them. I can't.
Did
I
you go
mean,
see Benjamin
you're
Button?
talking to somebody that got like
Did you go
thousands
see?
of
No, no, no,
what you call it. I
no.
can't
Did
remember all
you
the
go
stuff off
see
the top of my
Benjamin
head.
Button because she
But
was
yeah.
in it or because Brad Pitt was in it?
Actually, I went to see it because when I saw a clip of the trailer when she was talking to him, and I saw the CGs of Brad Pitt, and I understood the storyline, that made me want to go see it.
But yeah, that's see. So now
So
the
it's different
conversation
from what
is
you're saying.
the
Yes.
conversation is she going to command? Because the movies aren't $10 million is a lot of money, and some movies don't even make that.
Yeah, but that is so. My thing is, so all right. We're not saying $10 million though,
I know, but let's
right?
say let's
So,
say let's say you hire an
but
actor.
if she has been nominated for an Oscar, right? She's
Okay,
bringing something to that project. Other actors and actresses are not.
okay, and
So
she's
she
getting paid
should
for
get something. She should get a bump in her pay. Something. She should not be working for free.
it. Okay, $10 million is not free, and
That's not. She's not. She wasn't asking for $10 million. If we're going off
she
for
got ten
Taraji,
million. She got $10 million for that role. She
she didn't
said
get
it.
no $10 million for no role.
No, she got 10 million, and she said how
No,
it
she
broke down.
did not,
No, yes, she did. She was in an
bro.
interview
I
where she
can
said
tell
she
you,
got
she
10
did
million.
for Benjamin Button. She did
No,
not get 10.
she wasn't famous enough for Benjamin Button. I'm not talking
Okay,
about that.
what role are you saying she got $10 million
The Color
for?
Purple.
No, she did not. Look, hold on. We can bring this up right now. Color Purple. Taraji P. Henson. Color Purple. Color Purple salary. Okay, I'm looking for it right now. She did not get paid no $10 million. You think she would have been complaining if she got paid $10 million? Heck no. She was initially offered 75,000 after requesting 500,000. She got it bumped up. Hold on. No, hold on. I'm trying to find this. I am trying to find this. She didn't get paid no $10 million for the color purple.
No, you're right. She was
Color
making a deal.
purple, color
I'm
purple, and
reading.
plus that $10 million
I'm
will
reading.
be one
I'm
fifth
reading.
of
Yeah,
the budget, huh?
I'm reading right now what the $10 million was. She was describing in an interview that how if she gets paid $10 million, she's only seeing about 500,000 out of it after all of her uh,
Taxes, paying it to
taxes and overhead, which to me
right.
is a little crazy. That's crazy.
It's California.
That's crazy. That's crazy and very hard to actually believe. Because if your staff is that big, that's a big staff.
Well, if you Oscar nominated, if you win an Oscar, you're gonna have your PR person, your manager, your hair and makeup person. You're gonna have a crew with you. Your social
That's
media, you're gonna have a crew with you. You got to pay for all these people, and you know what I'm saying, because now you're getting into magazines. It's a lot of stuff that's happening, and you're traveling all over the world because we know this is a worldwide business. So you're looking at a situation where she ain't getting no money. They ain't getting no money. They're not getting any money. Man, they barely got a trailer. So whatever. But let's get back on tech.
I just I don't know. I
Let's
just
get- look,
I don't know. I wouldn't if a movie is slated to make $10 million, right? And you have an ensemble cast of what it was like 7 or 8 people. How much are you going to pay each one of those?
but so here's the deal, right? When you're talking about those budgets are for smaller movies. They're not for big movies like The Color Purple. Color Purple has a $90 million budget, 50 million for shooting, 40 million for marketing. So 90 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you played the ensemble cast between let's say $250,000 to $1 million based upon what they bring to the movie,
Mm-hmm.
still you still are making a killing off of it, right? So it's not like it's like this movie is not going to make money on streaming. There's streaming rights. There's so much money to be made outside of the theater. And I think that once people, when they look at the money, they look at the money as the theater money is like, oh, that's it. No, because you got people buying it, you got people streaming it, then you have so many different networks online or streaming platforms that want content and believe that this will bring people to their platform. They're going to pay for the rights to it. So money really doesn't stop. That's why you have your royalties and so on and so forth, right?
Yeah.
So
So
why not pay them? Why not pay
you
them?
know whose deals that I've been looking into that makes the smart deals, right? When they take a lesser fee to get in the movie, but they take a piece of the movie going forward, right?
You, but you got to be positioned to do that, bro. A lot
You
of
have
these
to have a
actresses
good
and actresses
team.
don't have the
No,
power to do that.
you have to
Like
have a
like
good
Robert
team.
Downey Jr., who's made multi millions, or Keanu Reeves, who made multi millions off of Matrix. Robert Downey made multi millions off of Marvel, Iron Man, and so on and so forth. These actresses and actors are not positioned, all right, to command that type of deal. They're just not. So
So,
I mean,
so
you're looking at a situation.
I
They're in
see
a
what you're
bad situation
saying, but
already.
I really think it's the people. I think it's the team that they have because Kevin Hart is not positioned to be able to make those type of demands on the movies he's in,
Yes,
but
he
yet
is.
he does.
No, he is positioned.
When he made his first deal like that, he wasn't big enough to make a deal like that.
That is
He
correct.
was
But
not
now
bigger than
he
Robert Downey
is.
Jr.
Now he is though.
Then
So
not
he
when he made the deal is what I'm saying. He
that
made
was
this
back in the
deal on
day.
the
So
jungle, what was that movie where the
Jumanji,
Jumanji. He made that deal on Jumanji. He was not superstar then, but yet he still made that deal.
but Kevin Hart had a following. When he started, even when he was doing Jumanji, he had a following. Now, when he did Soul Plane, all the other stuff, no, he was small. he already had a development deal for $250,000 when he was 21. But the
Oh,
thing
fine.
is, but
But
the
he
thing
wasn't
is, bro,
he
but
wasn't that
now
famous yet.
but now he has the following and he has the power to command those deals. But everybody doesn't have that power.
What
They
I'm
don't have
saying
that
is
following. And
he
we
didn't have
know
that power.
Hollywood, just like we know real life, people get picked. People have favorites, and Hollywood picks who becomes the star.
Hollywood picks who's going to make them money. Hollywood are greedy. They're going to pick who's going to make them money. And if they know you can make them money, they will give you what you want.
Exactly.
Period.
So when you have somebody who's nominated for an Oscar,
How does that mean they're going to make me money? Like, look
because
at her
once you
box office.
nominate, oh,
But look
that's
at her
easy.
box office. Look at her
That's
history.
easy. Once you get nominated for an Oscar, or if you win an Oscar, your pay goes up because that's that notoriety that you're bringing to the film now.
But that
That
doesn't change our
translates into
conversation.
marketing, which translates more seats in a theater,
But you got
more
to look
money
at
being
the
made.
history of that person's career and how much money her films have made or his films have made.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You looking at, but you talking about films from for a predominantly black audience, and try to group them with films from a wider audience that includes
But the
everybody.
pay is the
You
pay. The
can't.
money is the money. The
The
pay
money
is
is
the
the
pay.
money is
The
totally
money is the
different. When
money.
you're dealing with a black production, it's totally different than you dealing with a regular production.
Will Smith could before he smacked Chris Rock. He could command that money. He's
But
black
he was positioned to do so, bro.
because
The Fresh Prince
he
of
was
Bel Air, he was the good black
because it
guy,
worked. Because
but he was always positioned as the
but
good black guy.
but you're not arguing my point, right? My point is they pay upon the money they can make back from you. Period. It is a numbers game. You
That's
tell
the
me
part of
what
it.
you tell me one actress or actor that doesn't get paid well that consistently pulls in $1 million, $1 billion box office off of their lead role.
Doesn't get paid well and consistently brings in billions of dollars off their box office.
Who?
You said who doesn't get paid
Name me
well?
one
Hold on, hold on, hold on,
actor
hold
who
on, hold on,
doesn't get.
hold on, hold on. I'm about to give you an answer. When you mean by paid well, what do you mean? How much money
I
we
know.
talking
I
about?
am talking about.
How
Okay,
much
what is
money
the
we talking
comparison?
about?
I we're talking about people not getting paid for their work, right?
Okay.
Tell me someone who consistently brings in blockbuster movies with them being the headline, with them being the star, who's not getting paid well.
Who's not a billionaire by now?
You
Hold
see
on, hold on.
that
Based upon what you're saying, if I am the blockbuster, hold on, I'm the lead guy, and I've made a ton of movies as the lead guy. I brought in billions, and I'm still not one of the highest paid people in Hollywood. I can give you two: Samuel L. Jackson and Denzel Washington. They
okay,
should be the highest paid actors in Hollywood based upon their resume, based upon their resume, even as lead and supporting actors. They should be the highest paid in Hollywood. You can't tell me Denzel Washington has not brought in billions to Hollywood, and you can't tell me Samuel L. Jackson has not brought in billions to Hollywood.
okay. Denzel has brought in billions, and
And Samuel Jackson.
you're telling me Denzel doesn't make good money.
What I'm telling you is they should be those two men should be some of the highest paid men in Hollywood. If I brought in billions, I should be close to a billionaire.
So we're saying that Denzel doesn't get paid well. Is that what we're saying?
What I'm telling you is,
No, I'm
based
no. That's
upon
what you're.
what you said, hold on, based upon what you said about
Uh-huh.
paying for worth, those two leading actors who have brought in billions to Hollywood are not paid their worth. And Oscars are in the mix because they won Oscars.
So what two? You said Denzel. Who's the other one? Because I got this guy.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Who?
Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay.
Those two guys. So I
So
gave you
you're
two.
saying.
I gave you
So
two.
wait. So you're saying that they do not command huge salaries?
What I'm telling you is, I'm not saying it. What I'm telling you is, they're
But
not paid
my
their
point
worth.
is,
They're not
are
paid
they?
their worth based upon their resume. As
So
you
you're
said
saying
in
they're
your
not.
question, as you said in your question,
So
two
you're saying
leading
they're not.
actors who constantly bring in billions,
Uh
who
huh.
constantly bring in millions, eventually billions because of the
And who
number
are
of
not
projects they've
paid
been
what
on.
their worth is.
They're
Yes.
not getting paid what they're worth.
So can you show me any evidence of that? I'm
Yeah, I'll
serious
show you
because
some evidence.
these two are rich.
Look, all right.
Samuel L. Jackson and Denzel Washington are super rich. So tell me,
I'm not saying what I'm
but
saying
you're
is you
saying they're
talking
not
about
getting
based
paid
upon
their
their
worth.
worth, right?
But you're saying they're not getting paid their worth.
There are cases where they had to do two movies to get the same amount of pay that somebody had to do one for. So
Show me that. Show me that proof.
I definitely
No. I get you.
when we get
I
a
get you.
chance.
But I want to.
Hold on.
I know.
We
I'm
started so
understanding
far
your
off with a
argument.
tangent.
No. I'm understanding your argument, right? But show me where that's true. That is something
Okay, I
people can
will.
say.
I will, but we got to wrap this thing up. I will. I will
Oh,
show
really?
you.
Already?
I will show you. Yes,
Uh,
it's almost done. We got a couple of stories. I will show you. I will show you salaries. I will
I
show
need to
you.
see that because I
Okay.
know they make
Okay. I
bucks,
just know that I
and
answered your
both of them
question.
get money on the back end
This
on most of the projects they work.
okay. I haven't seen the contracts. I'm going off of the question that you gave me. I gave you two. I
Yeah,
gave you two.
but neither one of them have complained about pay disparity. Neither one of
They
them have complained
haven't.
about it.
They haven't, but that
But
doesn't
that's
mean
what I'm
it doesn't
saying. They
happen.
bring that draw. They bring the
But it
draw.
doesn't mean that it doesn't happen, right? They have it, but it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Okay, so
Denzel talks about everything. I don't think he would hold that back. I don't think Sam Jackson would hold that back.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. It's different for everybody. But are they getting paid what they're worth after bringing in billions to Hollywood? You know, Hollywood. A lot of times they say their reasoning for not paying these actors and actresses of color is because the stories don't translate overseas, which we know that is BS. Because they do. They
So
do.
on when you have an all black movie, right? Is that what we're talking about right here? We're not talking about black actors in the big blockbusters, right? We're talking about black actors in these smaller movies. Is that
No,
what
we're
we're talking
talking.
about?
No. I'm saying period across the
I'm trying
board.
to get because period across the board,
No, period
some of the
across the
highest
board.
paid actors in the business are black. You look at the numbers. Just look at the numbers.
Okay, we'll look at the numbers. I would say some are up there, but you're talking about consistently based upon your question. But we'll talk about the numbers. We'll get to the numbers. All right. We're we're almost. The last two things were. I'm kind of seeing the death of EV rental cars or EVs. I don't feel comfortable with the future of EVs now. Everybody's getting rid of them, going back to gas. Some of the rental car agencies like Hertz are selling 20,000 EV rental cars to they're just selling them off, getting out because they're saying the maintenance is too high and so on and so forth. So they're trying to get rid of them. So
They
I'm
came
not.
out. They didn't work when they
Hybrid is
came
the
out.
way to go, huh?
They didn't work when they came out.
No, I think with so much hype, people bought into it. I still like them. I just wish it was and I've said this before, gas to hybrid evolution. Then once the technology got to a point where it doesn't take you half an hour to 45 minutes to recharge, then you move to EVs. You figure it out. But going from gas to EVs in such a short period of time didn't make sense.
It wasn't ready. Elon Musk did this huge push for electric vehicles,
Yeah,
saying that this was the end all be all, these things work. And he sold a whole bunch of them before they were even ready.
right.
Right. And he put them on the street when they weren't. He beta tested his cars with, people who bought the cars.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Can
He
you,
put the
can
technology
you
out
see
there and
that?
said, "All right,
Can you see why I
let's make it
spilled the
happen."
coffee in my shirt just now?
I don't
I
know.
just
I can't
spilled
see
coffee in my shirt, man. Yeah,
it.
not, you
Well,
know,
it's time for us to wrap up anyway, man. It's time to.
what was it? What you guys? You said you got one more story. We
No,
got
no, no. You
six
know what the
bits,
last story was? It was about the
but
Discord thing, and it goes into the layoffs. We already mentioned it already. So we're at a tail end of the show. Main
I
Street Tech
still.
Talk,
I
huh?
wait. Okay, hold on. Before we go, all right. Before we go, 10 highest paid Hollywood actors in 2023.
Okay.
Vin Diesel,
Yeah, but
number one.
but see, hold
Chris
on.
Hemsworth, Ryan
Vin
Reynolds,
Diesel is not
Dwayne
marketed.
Johnson,
Who?
um, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock,
Yeah, but they're not
Will
marketed as
Smith.
black actors. And you know that. You know Vin Diesel and Dwayne are not, neither one of them are marketed as black actors. They are ambiguous and they've always been marketed that way for a reason. They are not marketed as black actors. Although Vin Diesel is black and Italian and The Rock is black and Hawaiian,
Mm-hmm,
he's black and Hawaiian.
mm-hmm.
So they're not marketed as black actors. No one sees them as black actors. They don't. They don't. So, but go ahead. Those two, yeah, go
Will
ahead.
Smith, 3 out of the top 10 are black.
Will Smith is the only one that's marketed kind of, sort of, maybe, possibly as a little bit being black. And the reason why is because Will Smith and Vin Diesel and Dwayne The Rock Johnson are trans. They go across the board. They're
So they
in.
have a bigger audience.
They have a bigger
They
audience because
cross over.
they're
So they have
ambiguous.
a big. Wait.
It's
No,
ambiguous
you
because when
just
you look at the Rock,
solidified my
a lot
point,
of people see
right?
him as
No.
being Hawaiian
You
or
just solidified
Samoan.
my point.
They mix it up because people don't know the difference. They're not
And,
smart enough
and
to know the difference.
he says over and over again he's black. The Rock
No,
never,
no, I'm not
never
saying
not
he
talks
doesn't
about
say
being
that.
black, right?
I'm
Vin
not saying
Diesel
he doesn't say that.
never
What I'm
not
saying
talks
is
about
that
being
he's
black.
not marketed that way. He's not marketed that way.
They don't.
They don't market it. So when is the last time you seen Vin or Dwayne get an NAACP award?
Don't bring the NAACP into this because they ain't been the same in 3 decades. Okay, the
I'm
NAACP.
just saying.
You can't. No, that's.
I'm just
I'm
saying,
sorry,
but
but that's not
they're not
valid right
marketed
now.
that way. So
That was
you can't.
valid when we were young. Bringing up the NAACP awards was valid when we were young, but it is
Okay,
not valid.
all right. You don't got to bring your NAACP award. What about the Rainbow Coalition? What about? I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
You are
They're not
really
marketed
telling your
that way.
age right now.
They're not marketed that way. Just like when you look at Drake, Drake is not marketed that way. They go across the board. They
So,
go across the board. They're
who
not
do you think
marketed as
should be
black
marketed?
men.
Yeah, but it all comes down to my first point. They make decisions on what people get paid with how much money they can make.
They're not marketed as, so you can't take these examples of these three people and use it to represent black people who are actors and actresses fighting and getting paycheck, because those dudes are not marketed that way. It's undeniable that Denzel and Samuel are two black men that are in these movies. When you look at Vin, even when you go down to Will Smith, he's light skinned. He ain't marketed that way, bro. He ain't. And that's
You
just the
think
truth.
you think
Drake, Will
Denzel? You
Smith,
think
none of them are
Denzel?
marketed that way.
Oh, I know Denzel in his prime when he was doing big things, commanded salaries like that. Real talk, and he got them right.
He's
Now,
producing movies now, so he's getting money.
huh?
He's producing movies now, so he's getting money.
Yeah, he's evolved, right? But when he could make that money, he did. Are you agreeing on that?
When he could make that money, you're saying Denzel was one of the highest paid actors when he could make that money.
Yes.
No, he wasn't. Nor was Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman. I am not rushing to see a movie with Morgan Freeman in it.
Morgan played God.
I'm not. I'm
Morgan
not
Freeman played
rushing to
God.
see a movie with Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman is a
You know
character
what?
actor.
You haven't seen Driving Miss Daisy when he got in that
Morgan
back seat with
Freeman
Miss
is
Daisy.
a
Like,
character actor.
well,
Okay,
all I'm
he does
saying
not.
is you
Morgan
can't
Freeman is not an actor that can play a blockbuster role.
you can't put an apple and an orange into the same category and say
You just tried
this
to do that.
represents that. No, I'm saying this doesn't represent that because of how they're marketed. Because if you didn't know, they don't.
So you
If
should
you
pay.
didn't
No, no,
know,
no, no, no.
no one said
So you
anything.
should
You
pay an
wouldn't know Vin
actor.
Diesel was
You should
half
pay an
black. You
actor
wouldn't
the
know
same amount
Dwayne
of
was half
money.
black either.
Wait, no, you should say an actor the same amount of money who's going to bring you $1 billion than who's going to bring you $1 million. Is that what you're saying?
You said hold on, say that
So
again.
if you hire an actor on a role and you know that actor is going to bring you $1 billion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you have another actor and you say, oh, this actor is going to bring me $1 million. Why would you pay them the same?
I'm not saying you pay them the same. Never said that. But what I'm saying is, if you got somebody who is Oscar nominated, who has done the work, who has a following, you do not put them back at zero. You did not start them at the
She
beginning.
didn't go to
As what
zero.
you would pay, as what you would pay somebody who's coming off the street that you want to put in the next movie. You pay
But
them what they're
who's
worth.
paying her off the like money? I don't
Yes, they
understand.
work, bro.
No,
Bro, she had to negotiate herself for a higher pay rate.
but
She
that's what
did.
you have to do in business. They're gonna lowball
Bro,
you.
bro. If I'm bringing people to the table, right?
Who is Tara? Who is she bringing people to the? I know we're talking about
Taraji's
Taraji.
been in a whole bunch of stuff, right? She's bringing her fan base to the table. That
No,
fan base spends
if
money,
she
but
was,
you can't
if
deny
she was, they
anybody's
would have
fan
made
base.
her spinoff. No, they was. She was supposed to get she was supposed to get a spinoff to Empire, right? They
They
were in
never.
talks. It never happened because nobody wanted to watch it.
People, you know how many people love Cookie? They would have watched that show. That's not true.
Do you
They would have
really think?
watched that
Nah,
show.
it wouldn't have. It would. It
Yes, it
wouldn't have.
was. You know what? Where that failed at? It's because the people she had surrounding her did not do what they were supposed to do. Cookie, that
Are
show,
you telling me a
Cookie,
show?
would have
You
made
tell me.
money.
Are you literally telling me Cookie's spinoff would have been as good or, or as received as Empire was?
Yes,
Oh,
because
you
she
are
would have
losing
took
your mind.
all of those
You
people
are losing all. You are losing
who
every
loved
bit of your mind.
Empire and brought them to that Cookie
You
show
are losing
because they
every bit.
love
No,
that character. Her
no.
character is one of
Towards
the
the
most
end of Empire,
undeniable
people were
characters
tired of
on that
Empire.
show.
No, towards the end of Empire, people were already tired of Empire. The
What I'm
viewership
telling you is,
dropped significantly.
I'm telling you, her character is one of the most undeniably popular characters on that show. And it stands to
So
reason
you
based
really think?
upon hold on. It stands to reason based upon the fan base of that show that she could have pulled and carried people to watch, even if it was the first season of Cookie, and she would have been successful. I'm just telling you, that's the truth. Then why are people watching Power? They got
Because
like
it's
the Book of
compelling.
Kanan and all the other stuff.
Because it's compelling, and they're not even using the same characters in a lot of these
The
shows. On
same
Power,
stuff. It's the same
no.
stuff. It's the
Empire
same
lost
stuff.
it. Empire lost its
Use your
way after.
fan base.
Nah,
It's
Empire.
the same plan, brother. It's the same plan. Use your fan base. Do a spinoff. Take that fan base. Push it to the spinoff. Make money. Do another spinoff. If the people feel attached to one of the characters, do another spinoff. Take that fan base from there. Push it to the other spinoff so you can continue to make money. It's the same plan over and over again. Yes, Power would have made money. They would have made money with Empire. Would have been Cookie's little spinoff of Empire would have made money because people were so attached to that show. Who was attached specifically? Black women. Black women. Yes. 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 She would have made money. I'm just saying. I know we're not talking about tech anymore. We're going right into the actors.
Well, yeah,
We way
because
off, but that's what it is. I'm going to say yes. If I'm wrong, let me know. If Tommy's right, let him know. Put it in the comments. I'm saying I'm right. I believe that Cookie spinoff would have been off the chain. I'm just saying.
To go
And
from
that's,
5 million views to 2 million views is pretty bad.
I would say losing half of your audience, people get tired of the storylines, especially if they repeat themselves. But what I'm telling you is people were so enamored by that character that it could have been successful. I would have gave it a high rate of being successful because of that character that she portrayed, Cookie. Because Cookie was no joke. And ladies love drama. Point blank. That's why all these other shows and these talk show hosts are making billions of dollars because women love drama. And it wasn't just black women supported her, but you got women of all their cultures and ethnicities that love that character, bro.
But
They
it
wanted to see what she was going to get into next.
no, they didn't. It got stale because she
Oh
kept
my
doing the
God.
same thing.
I'm telling you,
She
it
kept
will
doing
work.
the same
Okay, so
thing.
we'll let the audience, you guys decide. You let us know who's
Please
right.
let us
Tommy or
know.
me. You let us
Please let
know who's right. I'm gonna cut this up. Now this is going on TikTok too.
talk to
We got like an
yourself.
hour in it.
Talk
You
to
let us know
yourself.
who's right.
Like have a conversation with yourself, right? Say, if they would have come out with a Cookie series, would I have watched it? Ask yourself that and let me know in the comments.
All right. That's Main Street Tech Talk. That's all we got for today. Your news, what's happening this week. CES is wrapping up. All the layoffs. Much respect to everybody. I'm praying that you find something soon. That's heartbreaking. And to everyone
Become a,
who's watching,
anybody
thank
who
you
got
so
laid
much
off,
for giving
become
us
a
the
support
opportunity.
tech.
Huh?
Anybody get laid off, become your own support tech.
That's it. That's it. Well, thank you for watching. We appreciate you. That's it. Until next week. Oh yes, on Monday you'll have your morning tech news in a minute with your man Main Street Tech Talk. That's what we do. Until then, have a great weekend.